In custom car audio, having the right tools is key to getting perfect and efficient results. In this video, I've got several unique tools that will be great for your next build, and many of them don't break the bank. Maybe you're looking to treat yourself, or maybe you want to casually slide this video link over to someone else to give them some ideas for your wish list. I'm Mark, welcome to CarAudioFabrication, the channel where together we learn how to master car audio and how to design, build, and install our dream car audio system. Let's discuss. Throughout the course of a car audio build, you're going to frequently be crimping different connections onto wires. So a crimper like this is pretty common, but a more unique tool is a larger size crimper like this for the larger power wires that are used throughout a build. On this particular crimper here, the dies can be rotated to several different sizes depending on the size of lug that you need to attach to your wire. Once you determine the correct die size, these are extremely simple to use. Just crimp that lug on. In particular, I found this exact model right here to work really well, and I did want to let you guys know that I have convenient links for all of the different tools that I'm showing in this video down in the video description. The next tool or item that you might want to add to your wish list are these. These are RCA covers. You can get a whole bag of these for really cheap, and I just find that they give your install much more of a finished look if you install these onto all of the unused RCA connections. But these aren't just for looks, these can actually protect some of the connections as well in some of the tighter locations. For example, in behind a dash when installing an aftermarket head unit, a lot of times there's not a whole lot of room in there, and protecting the unused connections is beneficial. The next unique car audio tool that I find very beneficial to have is a good LED light bar. A couple of important features that you want to look out for when purchasing a light bar is, one, you want it to be rechargeable. You don't want to always have to worry about plugging this in. It's nice if it has a built-in battery like this particular model does. And it's also nice if they have these extensions on the end that allow you to clamp around the hood so you could have an underhood light, or even up to the top of the vehicle, like the roof when you're sitting inside, on each of the door frames. That way you can have some overhead light when you're working inside. Again, a link to this particular model is down in the video description for you guys. And in case you're wondering why I've added this pink tape, that's just so that I remind myself before I ever try to close a door and potentially slam this into the door jamb. I want to remind myself with these little ribbons. That's why I have one tied to each side. Real quick, before I get into the next unique tool that I recommend, a quick shout out to our show sponsor, New Concepts, and I want to tell you guys about these, the New Concepts basic wire distribution blocks. What I really like about these power distribution blocks is their simplicity in design. These are available in multiple different sizes, and what's great about these is we can use these as a fused power distribution block for the positive side where we add the fuses, or we can use grounding links to use these on the ground side. These also feature dual inputs, which is great if you want to daisy chain multiple of them together. When you're picking out power distribution parts for your next car audio build, definitely give these a look. You guys can learn more at the link down in the video description. The next unique tool is this, a drill bit that also has a tap. These are extremely handy to have when you want to add threads to different parts that you are custom fabricating in a build. Parts like custom speaker adapters or amplifier racks, where we want to use mechanical fasteners to hold all of our different items onto whatever we are fabricating. Using these specialized bits allows you to be extremely efficient as you are drilling and tapping a hole in one go. You're not having to switch back and forth between multiple different tools. These are of course available in multiple different sizes. I'll put links to my favorites down below, which are 1/4-20 and 10/24. Our next unique tool here is a bit of a higher budget item, but this is 3M's AccuSpray system. In custom car audio, we oftentimes need to apply paint products like primer or paint itself, but what I use this mainly for is actually spraying upholstery adhesive. So the way the system works is inside the hopper here, it actually has a flexible bladder, if you will, and you can easily swap those out and replace them. They're meant to be a throwaway part that you discard once you're done with the project. The advantage here is the time savings of not having to use a bunch of chemicals to clean up your paint cup, or your adhesive cup in this case, after each project. This goes on top of the AccuSpray system with a quick quarter turn like that, but the other part of this system that is disposable is the tip itself. The tips are available in multiple different sizes and they are color coded, so they're easy to identify. I find myself primarily using this tip here. This is a 2mm tip for spraying that upholstery glue. Again, the advantage here is the time savings. When it comes time to clean our sprayer here, we're just going to discard the tip and all we need to do is wipe down the needle. It's very simple to clean, and also in my opinion, a lot of times you can just leave the tip on and leave the adhesive and use it for multiple different projects, but if it does go for an extended length of time where you do kind of end up caking up your nozzle, it's no big deal because you could just discard it anyway, and again, you're just doing that quick little simple cleaning job. The next unique and handy tool is this guy right here. This is actually a brush, and you could use this for a bit of automotive detailing as well, but a lot of times I find when I'm finished wrapping up a subwoofer enclosure or something else in a build that has carpet on it, you tend to have, you know, a few pieces of sawdust, maybe some pet hair, that kind of thing. This brush makes it really easy to clump up all that hair and sweep it away. This is one of those tools that it's so simple, it just seems kind of silly, but after you use one for the first time, you're gonna be like, where has this thing been all of my life? Next up, this item isn't exactly a tool, but it's going to make better use of your tools, and this is Glide Coat. This is defined as a table and tool surface lubricant. What I mainly use this on is the top surface of my router tables and my table saw, and it seems, again, kind of silly, but this really does make a big difference in how evenly and smoothly you are able to feed a workpiece into those different tools. Think of it kind of like adding a nice smooth coat of wax to the top of your different work surfaces. You would be surprised how much better of a finish you are able to get on workpieces when everything slides nice and smoothly through the tool. And really quick, while we're on the topic of sprays for your tools, this is my go-to surface protectant for exposed metal surfaces like that of a top of a table saw. This spray is actually developed by the Boeing company, and it's not only great for table saw tops, but also hand tools and bits. It acts as a protectant, it displaces moisture, and honestly, I just find that it keeps my tools looking brand new. Our next unique car audio must-have tool is this set of quick radius templates from the guys over at Mobile Solutions. If you've watched my videos on the channel before, you know that I use a router to shape all of the different work pieces throughout a build, and what's great about these quick radius templates is they allow us to easily add a perfect radius to a corner of a part. I use these things on virtually every single build, which is why I wanted to recommend them to you, and they not only work for outside corners. If you had like a window cutout on the inside here, we could flip this over and this could do an inside radius corner as well. The kit here has 6 different sizes ranging from a 1/4 inch radius all the way up to a 3-inch radius. The next unique tool, this is a pretty common one that you've probably seen me use on the channel, and that is a ferrule crimper along with a package of ferrules. Wire ferrules are used on stranded wire to terminate the end of the connection. Again, extremely easy to use these. You're just going to strip the insulation off of a wire like you normally would, but you're going to apply the correct size ferrule. You're going to insert the ferrule into our crimper, crimp down, and you're good to go. Now, when it comes to removing the insulation off of a wire, everyone is familiar with the typical wire strippers that are used for smaller wire, but what about when you're using larger gauge wire? Well, that's where this tool comes in. This is a specialized cable knife that allows us to quickly and easily strip the insulation off of larger gauge wire. This tool has this kind of push button here, and this is on a spring to kind of go around the wire that you are stripping the insulation from. And you can see that little knife tip there. It's also adjustable by turning this little dial here. We can adjust how deep into the insulation that it's going to cut. This is great not only for larger power and ground wire, but also for that common twisted pair type speaker wire that you guys have seen out there for removing that outer insulation. Now again, all the links for the tools shown in this video are available down in the video description, but a quick question of the episode for you guys: what caught your eye in this video, or what other tool items do you have on your wish list? I'd love to hear from you guys, and don't forget, next time you need power distribution blocks for your car audio build, definitely be sure to check out our show sponsor, New Concepts. A big thanks to them, along with Juan, Jerry, Steven, and the rest of the Patreon membership team. A big thanks to all those guys for making these videos possible, and of course, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great holiday.